In the midst of these shambles, the government still borrows. And when the government borrows, it devalues our naira. When it devalues our naira, because we don't produce, pressure mounts on the private sector because workers are expected to get paid. And then we are floating things like minimum wage. From where?
Good morning and welcome to Newspaper Review on Laveritatv Productions. This Monday, April 13th, 2026. A new week is here, and with it comes fresh headlines, new developments, and important stories you need to know and stay informed and ahead. I'm informer Sani today. Thank you for joining me, and as we take you through what's making front pages across Nigeria and beyond this morning, let's dive right in. On the Vanguard newspaper this morning, debt pressure mounts as federal government borrows 8.1 trillion naira in 2026. On the Daily Trust newspaper, NAF jet kills over 200 civilians. On New Telegraph newspaper, ADC, David Mark's leadership is a status quo, Sagi tells INEC. On the Daily Times newspaper, Nigerian military misfires, kills several civilians in Borno Market airstrike. On the Daily Sun newspaper, ADC takes survivor fight to Supreme Court. We'll be going on a commercial break, and on return, analysis begins.
You can make it, you can make it, you can make it.
Forget what you're going through. Focus on where you're going to. Forget the numbers of times you fall. Look up and you can get up. Foes want you down, Father wants you up. Follow your dream and you gon' make it. Cause life is what you make it, my brother, and we gon' make it. My sister, you a diamond, they can never ever break you. Look up to the sky, let the Most High elevate you.
Welcome back on the show. Good morning, Mr. Wisdom.
Good morning.
Hope you had a lovely weekend.
I did.
On the Vanguard newspaper,
Okay.
we see rising debt pressure as federal government borrow 8.1 trillion naira in 2026.
Well, there's no country that doesn't borrow. Like Peter Obi usually says, it's not about the borrowing, it's what you use the borrowing for. In Nigeria, we borrow to consume. That's the major problem. So, I can guarantee you, with the kind of leaders and the kind of people we have in power, this 8.1 trillion naira that was borrowed, you won't see it. Give it 6 months, you won't see it in the government, you won't see it in the economy. Because the people we call leaders today have no clear vision of where this country is going from an economic standpoint. The private sector for the past 10 to 15 years have been the fundamental driving force of our economy. Not that it's not a good thing, but what part is the government playing? The private sector, although they are doing their best, at least the government can come in with tax breaks. Reasonable tax breaks for them. That's number one. You imagine, I think I saw something concerning our tax code where if you make above 100 million naira in profit, the federal government gets to take 30%. You can research it. So
As a private sector?
yes, as a private business owner. So
Yeah.
I go the extra mile, psych my staff, and then we're able to do minimum 100 million. Then the federal government comes and says, give me 30 million for being the government. Okay, subsidize cost of energy for me so that I can do business effectively. You understand? Cut down my tax. Give me the necessary things that I will need. You understand? To up production and scale my business. The government is not ready to do that. The government is not. The institution that was built, our governmental institutions, somehow fight the private sector. So it's not just changing one policy. You have to run a total system overhauling.
Yeah.
You understand? And in the midst of these shambles, the government still borrows. And when the government borrows, it devalues our naira. When it devalues our naira, because we don't produce, pressure mounts on the private sector because workers are expected to get paid. And then we are floating things like minimum wage. From where? It is when you are able to do business properly, generate a lot of profits, the kind of profits you have in your mind, then paying its staff. A business that is doing well doesn't struggle to pay its staff. But if I'm barely keeping the business running, keeping my doors open, and then you are floating things like minimum wage, all because the government is not interested in investing strategically into the economy. Yes. So 8.1 trillion borrowed, it's a good one. But we hope to see it in agriculture, not just give farmers loan for fertilizers and all these things. No, strategic. Send the money directly to the Bank of Agriculture. And let's see the whole northern part of Nigeria can feed Africa. Just the northern. Niger State is bigger than Switzerland. Look at Switzerland GDP. And Niger State can barely get itself together. Kaduna State can feed the whole of, let's say, Ghana and Togo, Ghana, Togo, Benin Republic, and Senegal. Kaduna State can feed them. We're not talking of Benue, we're not talking of Kogi State. So can we put this, at least 30 to 35% of this 8.1 trillion, put it into agriculture, and let's see where it takes us, and monitor it. Put it into healthcare. What India generates from people that come into India for medical treatment on a yearly basis, I tell you, it can run Lagos, it can run Abuja, it can run Port Harcourt, from what India makes from healthcare. And as the saying goes, Nigerian doctors are one of the best. They put in the extra hours, they pay the extra sacrifices. If our doctors are one of the best in the world, why can't we create a very good ecosystem for them to work here?
Yeah.
Now, when that happens, they bring in those people that need their treatment down here. It ups our foreign revenue.
True. Very
Right?
true.
So, and then you talk about education. You talk about a lot of things. 8.1 trillion naira, put it into sports and see. Guess what? Okay, when Adekunle Komolafe Foundation did the table tennis competition, do you see the way people came together?
Yeah.
Now, imagine the government decides to, okay, I'm going to partner with guys like this and invest so much. It will not just change the game. It will cause the world to look at Nigeria and know that something really, really good is happening here.
True.
And then you start seeing people coming for our talent. As they're coming for our talent, it's affecting our foreign exchange, it's affecting our Federal Reserve. A lot of things can change if 8.1 trillion naira goes in the right direction.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Still on the Daily Trust newspaper.
Yeah.
Still on the Daily Trust newspaper. NAF jet kills over 200 civilians.
And I think, was it Defense Headquarters also? They're saying that they went after terrorists. The annoying thing about Nigeria is you claim terrorists have been killed. Where are the bodies? When Osama bin Laden was hunted down by the United States under the Barack Obama regime and killed, we saw his body. When Muammar Gaddafi of Libya was killed, we saw his body. The only person in Africa that we didn't really see his body was Patrice Lumumba of Congo, because how they killed him was somehow anyway. But when you go out to execute missions like this, show the people that you are working. These are the dead terrorists, 50 of them. Nigeria, give us time. We will get this thing out. We'll solve this problem. It encourages the people.
Yeah.
But the only thing they see is 25 terrorists killed. Did their body vanish? And right now they are floating that 200 civilians lives were lost. That the market that was some news stations or some newspaper are called the market notorious market. And according to the governor Zulum said that market has been closed for 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years.
Okay, it has been closed for 5 years. How did 200 civilians find their way there to the point where they are now dragging the federal government and saying 200 civilians were killed? How? If it has been closed.
Imagine the ones that were injured or the ones that escaped.
So if 200 civilians were there,
They had over 500.
Can you imagine? Now, if 200 civilians were killed in that market, there is no market that runs without people paying tax.
Right.
So that means for the period of 5 years that you claim that this market has been closed down, somebody has been collecting tax from the people doing business there. Who is that person? It's either that person is fronting for terrorists, or that person is part of the government and the government is trying to shield the person. Whichever way, answers need to be provided. 200 civilians. In Nigeria, we think that lives are just like...
So how many terrorists were they able to kill? If they were able to kill 200 civilians, how many terrorists did they kill?
It's still not specific, because they are having problems identifying who is the civilian
and who is the terrorist.
Who is the terrorist.
Oh, wow.
You understand? I'll add this. There's an NGO called Empowering the Needy Initiative. I read about them, and the person that's fronting it, their president is Dr. Ben. A white man came to Nigeria. They came for intelligence, and they had this AI and drone setup. It was monitoring terrorists in real time. In Kaduna here, I saw videos during the weekend. When they were having the security meeting, they were showing people, look at them in your forest. Right here in Kaduna, I saw it. You see terrorists with rifles sitting down inside the thick forest. You tell me Nigerian government does not have such level of intelligence is a lie. They are just complacent, they don't care, and somebody's making billions of it. They should wake up, or we'll help them wake up as Nigerians.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom West.
You're
And I hope
welcome.
this issue gets sorted out soon.
Amen.
You can make it. You can make it. You can make it.
Forget what you're going through. Focus on where you're going to. Forget the numbers of times you fall. Look up and you can get up. Foes want you down. Father wants you up. Full of your dream and you gon' make it. Cause life is what you make it, my brother, and we gon' make it. My sister, you a diamond, they can never ever break you. Look up to the sky, let the most high elevate you.
We've come to the end of today's edition of Newspaper Review on Laveritatv Productions. Thank you for making us part of your daily morning routine. I'm Informer Christiana today. For sponsorship and advert placement, call the numbers displayed on your screen. Follow us on all our social media handles for other trending news and entertainment as displayed on your screen. Do have a productive day ahead and join us again tomorrow. Until then, goodbye.